Hello and welcome back to the Out of Bounds podcast, episode 20. We finally made that benchmark. Episode 20, we're 1/4 away from 100 and a little bit less than 50. Well, less than half than 50, yeah. So, I don't even know why I even said it. I guess 20 is not a big milestone, huh?
No.
Okay, it's whatever. Alright, if you've seen the title of the video, you know we have our mock draft. This is the last video we'll be doing up until the draft. So currently we're filming this on a Monday. A trade could go down up until the draft about like changing the draft process, which then we would not know the correct like
Yeah.
draft order. We're currently doing the draft order that is of filming, which is Monday at 4:18 Eastern time zone. I got really specific there. But yeah, so let's get right into it. So both of us, we don't have any trades going on in the draft because we're boring like that, I guess. But although I do believe there will be trade ups and trade downs in this draft, we do not have anything. We don't have any of that. We definitely have some different picks. Excuse me, I had a burp there.
I'd hope so. Gotta make it interesting.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, I haven't heard any of Matt's picks for
I
the
haven't heard
mock
any
draft,
of
and he
Jean's.
hasn't heard any of mine. Also, some quick NFL news right before we get into the draft process. Byron Pringle, wide receiver of the Chicago Bears, arrested today. I forget what the reason was, but as an Eagles fan, I actually wanted the Eagles to get him in free agency. And I was a little upset that we lost him to Chicago. Although, let me just read off a little rumors. Panthers are not expected to trade for Baker Mayfield before the first round of the draft, if at all. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be trading for Baker Mayfield at this point since we waited so long. I think that he's going to have to be released by the Browns. I think he will be asked maybe sometime after the draft, which I think he should have already done it pre-draft, because by doing that, if he were, because then he's beaten out a lot of these upcoming quarterbacks in this draft if he were to get picked up before the draft, but I don't see that happening. All right, so Matt, do you want to start off with your mock draft at number one?
No, I want to hear yours.
All right, number one. With the first overall pick in the 2022 NFL draft,
NFL draft.
NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Aiden Hutchinson, defensive lineman from Michigan. And then you hear all of
Yeah.
these people that are like, "Oh, it is Aiden Hutchinson." But yeah, okay, Matt,
Well, well,
you go.
it's not Aiden Hutchinson
Oh,
because it's actually Trevon Walker, the edge out of Georgia.
interesting.
So, he's the bigger risk. I think he only played 1 year of college, like football, but
Hmm.
I think he has like the bigger like ups, like he has a bigger like potential, and I think that's why the Jaguars are gonna try to like go deep for it.
Mm. You see, these are also part of this draft is who I think they should pick, and also it's like I'd say it's like 50-50 who I think they should pick and who I think they will pick, cause I'm a little like mixed in there, you know. Like this, is, I don't know how. I think it's mostly who I think they'll pick, 60-40 who I think they pick, who I think they should pick. Yeah. But talk about Trevon Walker, I have him going number two to the Detroit Lions. Who do you have him going to?
I have him going to Jaguar. I have Aiden Hutchinson going to the Detroit Lions. Um, because well, yeah, he's great talent for Michigan, and I think he's just the type of guy that Dan Campbell wants
Hmm.
as his player.
Gotcha. So we have a little switcheroo on first and second pick. All right. So since I've done the first two, you gotta give us number three. Who you think the Houston Texans are gonna select?
I think they're gonna go with Kayvon Thibodeaux. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um. Yeah, I think they really just like like they really like edge rushers because that's what they like. They're known like they had with J.J. Watt and who Jadeveon Clowney was supposed to be, and I think they want to finally like fix who they fix missing J.J. Watt.
Hmm. I actually have them selecting an offensive lineman, Ike Ekwano. I know I butchered his name, but he is a offensive lineman from North Carolina State, and he a lot of people have projected him to be the best offensive lineman in this draft, but we'll just have to see in the future if that is the case. All right, who do you got the Jets going with?
Um, Ahmed Sauce Gardner,
Mm,
lockdown corner out of Cincinnati. What else do I need to say? He's just wow. Just look at his stats. You'll understand why. Great pick for the Jets if they do get him.
Yeah, I also have the Jets picking Sauce Gardner here because I think that the Jets general manager, Joe Judge, who used to be the Eagles player of personnel, is a great GM, and I think he sees Sauce Gardner as a game changer, which is why he selects him at the fourth overall pick in this draft. Also, uh, what team is Sauce Gardner? Oh, Cincinnati, bro. Their uniforms, literally, the helmet, it looks like Chick-fil-A's logo. I'm not lying. I think
Kinda,
they need to
it does,
change their logo.
but no, it looks awesome.
Awesome? I guess,
Yeah.
kinda, yeah. Alright. Now we got the New York Giants. Boo! Boo! No, I'm sorry. Sorry, New York. New
They
York
have enough.
fans.
They have enough going on.
I have them going with an offensive lineman, Charles Cross from Mississippi State, being selected by the Giants because each year they seem to fail at picking offensive linemen. Maybe they actually hit with this offensive lineman and they'll stop complaining that the offensive line sucks.
Yeah, I have them drafting an offensive line. I have them drafting Evan Neal out of Alabama, though.
Mm,
I think he's the most ready to start out of all the offensive linemen. You know, Alabama is the closest I really think you get to the NFL like team,
hmm
and I think that that's he's gonna be great from day one. Well, not maybe not great from day one, but he's gonna do well.
mm. You also are thinking that the Giants are gonna select a good talent. Not saying that Charles Cross isn't good. I think he could. I think he very well could be good. But I'm just saying, the Giants always seem to pick someone who you never expect, and I mean,
No, I think they got the Bills GM, and he's gonna know what to do.
oh, it's no longer that great. No, wait, I thought it was the Bills' offensive.
I
Uh,
think they brought like a Bills G like
the
I think
Bills.
they brought
They
a
brought in
Bills
two
guy.
Bills guys.
It's
I thought it was
he
still that
was he
crazy old
was
head.
the assistant general manager for the Buffalo Bills, Joe
Hmm.
Schoen.
Okay.
So yeah, I think they will correct their mistakes.
All right. All right. Coming in here at number 6, I have the first quarterback in this draft being taken
What?
by the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers have been struggling to find that QB for all these years. Cam Newton went down the drain and was hot garbage, so they had to get rid of him.
Led them to a
They,
Super Bowl.
huh?
He led them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he was trash ever since then. And also, he's the reason why they lost that Super Bowl because he decided to back away from that fumble. Also, so they first drafted a guy. He came in. Kyle Allen wasn't the solution. They go into free agency and pick up Teddy Bridgewater, he comes in. He's not the solution. They trade with the New York Jets for Sam Darnold. He comes in. He's not the solution. So they go to the draft and they think we finally have our guy in Malik Willis, who I think is the best quarterback in this draft and the best person. I saw him giving clothes to a homeless man. He is a very religious man, and I see him as the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers at the start of the 2022 NFL season. Carolina Panthers select Malik Willis for me.
Okay. I think a team will probably end up trading for Malik Willis if he drops out of like the 10th, like out of the top 10. I think a team will definitely trade for him, but we're not doing trades, so I
never
didn't
said you
predict.
couldn't.
I know, but I didn't like want to because it's like so. There's like I'm too stupid. I'd be like, oh, they do all this, and then they just like I
And
don't
then
know.
nothing happens.
Yeah, but no, I just be like, oh, they trade all this, but like they really wouldn't trade that. Okay.
Mm.
I have tackle Akeem Ekawunu. Sorry about that. Tackle out of North Carolina State, who you had going what, fourth
I
or
have him going
third?
third to the Houston
Third.
Texans.
I have him going sixth. So the Panthers can get an offensive line for their future quarterback, whoever that may be.
Mm.
Okay, number
Understood.
7.
Yep, you go.
The Giants, who honestly finessed the Cincinnati or the Chicago Bears last year, who moved up like how much and gave up gave up 2 first
It
round
was
picks
so stupid, and with that
to
pick,
get Justin Fields.
who
And
I
now,
think is a terrible quarterback.
yeah, and now the Giants have the 5th and 7th pick, which is crazy.
Mhm.
I have them going cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. LSU. He got injured a lot after his like rookie year, but I still think he has a great talent, great potential, and I think they give him a chance because they really needed like a big home run hitter in this draft to kind of appease the fans for a bit.
Mhm. Well, I have the New York Giants here selecting safety Kyle Hamilton, so I also have a defensive player. I think that they don't have Sauce Gardner there on the field, so they go with the next closest safety. I don't think they draft a cornerback because they currently have James Bradbury and uh, Adoree Jackson for the corners, so I think they wait another year on corners and they go with Kyle Hamilton to shore up that secondary. So yeah, I have Kyle Hamilton from
Okay.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. No, he came
No,
from the
that's what
cathedral
no,
in France.
that's true.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
That is right. Okay. Number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, we all know what they really need. And I think the first receiver off the board will be at number 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. I have Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. I think they don't have I mean they really don't just have a receiver. So like I don't even I couldn't name a receiver except for Kyle Pitts. And so I think they finally get a receiver. But it's not going to make a difference to Marcus Mariota where he has Garrett Wilson or not. Maybe it's an extra touchdown or 2. But he's just not going to be able to hit him downfield.
Mm. I do not have them taking an offensive weapon here. I have the Atlanta Falcons choosing Evan Neal, that offensive lineman from Alabama. I think they are in complete rebuild this year. That's why they brought in bridge quarterback Marcus Mariota and traded away Matt Ryan. I know they don't have any receivers, but I guess they're like, all right, you got Kyle Pitts. We'll get whoever our quarterback next year is some actual weapons. This year we're going to be the team with no weapons, but we want to have a good young offensive lineman in there, so then next year that can shore up the offensive line and also bring in a wide receiver and quarterback, and then we'll get our offense rolling So I have them taking Evan Neal at 8th overall.
Okay.
All right.
I think you gotta do the next one now.
Are we going 2 by 2?
Yeah, we're going 2x2.
All right. At number 9, the Seattle Seahawks. I have them taking Trent McDuffie, cornerback from Washington State, I think. So I actually have him going before Derek Stingley because Matt said Derek Stingley, some injuries. So I think that might drop his value off a little bit. But yeah, I have Trent McDuffie, the cornerback, going to the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're going to try to focus on fixing up the defense. I think Pete Carroll is still in the mindset that defense wins championships in the NFL. So I think he's going more on the defense, less on the offensive side. That's why they got Drew Lock over there. So I think he's going to want to go with some defensive people here in this draft. So yeah, Trent McDuffie, corner.
Okay, I have them going offensive tackle to build for the future quarterback because it's not Drew Lock, I tell you, and it doesn't matter if their defense is good now. It's not gonna doesn't matter. They need like young. You need like young defensive players last less than I think than offensive linemen. I think offensive linemen last a couple more years. So I have them going Charles Cross, tackle out of Mississippi State.
Yep, I had him going at number 5 to the Giants. All right, number 10. I finally have a wide receiver going off the board. Finally, an offensive weapon, and I got Jameson Williams to the New York Jets, wide receiver from Alabama. I think he's one of the top wide receivers in this draft. I don't want to commit and say one wide receiver is better than the rest in this draft. I'm not gonna do it. Because then in the future people will be like, you thought this wide receiver would be better in the draft, and I know people will do it. Matt, most especially, he's gonna be the one that's gonna be going back to his video and be like, all right, who did John say was better? So I'm not saying who's better. I just think that Jameson Williams, apparently a lot of people are suspecting that he's going to be the first wide receiver taken off the board. So I think the Jets are going to try to give Zach Wilson a weapon with Jameson Williams.
Okay. I have Jets going a receiver as well, but a different receiver. I have them going Drake London out of USC. I think that's who they want. I think that's someone that they think will increase Zach Wilson's production and like just overall play level next year. Okay, so I think it's my turn now.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we have the Washington Commanders. I have them.
Commander Carson, at your service, sir.
No. I have them going with the 11th pick, Jameson Williams, wide receiver out of Alabama, who they think is going to be a steal at this point, and I think he maybe will, and he'll go up alongside Terry McLaurin, and they'll be a good duo, maybe deadly in a couple of years.
Yes, sir. Give Carson his weapons. Carson Wentz. Commander Carson. I'm also giving him a weapon. I'm giving him Garrett Wilson because, like I said, Jameson Williams was taken with the last pick by the Jets, so they go with Garrett Wilson. Washington Commanders. Carson Wentz. Looking back, he fires a deep downfield. Garrett Wilson in for the touchdown. They have beaten the Dallas Cowboys. I'm saying the Dallas Cowboys because we all hate the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone hates the Dallas Cowboys. So yeah, I also have the Washington Commanders taking a wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, out of Ohio State. Yeah, that's all I'll say about Carson.
You finished? So much self-pity, are there?
How is that self-pity?
I pity you. It's not self-pity, but Okay,
Okay.
at number 12, we have the Minnesota Vikings
The
taking.
Minnesota Vikings. I'm sorry.
I have them taking cornerback Trent McDuffie out of Washington because I couldn't name another corner on their team, and they really
Hmm.
need one.
That's understandable. Yeah, I do think they need help at corner a lot. However, I don't have them going with a corner. I think they're looking at who's left in this draft and they're like, do my eyes mistake me? Or do I see Kayvon Therabadeox? I know I'm butchering his name. He's still here. He's still available. We must get him. Let's draft this man right now. Get him on the phone with me. Come on, give me that damn phone. All right. So yeah, I think they're going
What
with.
was that like accent? Like, what were you doing?
I don't know, bruh. All right.
What do
So
you think
yeah.
they sound like in Minnesota?
Well, I don't know. You see, I don't think they were gonna go with a wide receiver in that draft a few years ago, but since the Eagles screw up terribly and picked Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson, they're like, let's get the best guy that's left on this board. And I think they're doing the same thing in this draft. They're looking at the board and they're saying this guy's the best player I think on the board right now, so I think they grab him. I know you said he's going like third overall. I have him going 12th overall. Yeah, Kayvon. That I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name again, but yeah, I have him going to the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
All right, do I continue?
Um. Yeah.
All right. At number 13, the Houston Texans with their second first round pick. I have them picking Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback from LSU. I have him going to the Houston Texans. They got to shore up that defense. They're giving Davis Mills another year at quarterback, and there's also got Brandon Cooks in there as a wide receiver. Gonna have him be the target. So I don't think they're going to be going with another wide. I don't think they'll be going with a wide receiver because they already gave Davis Mills some help with an offensive lineman. Now they're looking at the defense, try to get a corner for a good corner. So they go with Derek Stingley Jr., corner from, like I said, LSU. And yeah, who do you got? The Houston Texans selecting.
I have the Houston Texans selecting safety Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame.
Mm.
I think they're going to be so happy that he drops this far because he really is a
Hmm.
way better talent than this.
If he drops that far, I think that'd be a good pickup for the Texans. I thought that if Thea, I'm not even gonna pronounce his name again, but I think if he actually drops down to 12, that's gonna be a huge pickup for the Vikings, bruh. They got a big deal. That's like one of those deals that's like buy one get one free. Oven baked Cheetos here at Acme, and they're like,
Oh my
oh, give me
God,
like two.
they're
Yeah.
so good. They're
They are
so.
so good. Best chip ever. We are not sponsored by Cheetos, although Matt and I love it. I always try to steal them whenever I come home from Matt. Sometimes I get away with it, sometimes I don't. But yeah.
Yeah, you
Should
do get away with it.
well, okay. So should I want me to keep going?
No, wait.
Yeah, this is mine again. Don't try to cut
Yeah.
me off.
I don't know.
All right. I got the Baltimore Ravens selecting at the 14th overall pick Trevor Penning, offensive lineman from Northern Iowa. I think they're looking at Lamar Jackson. They're like, we want Lamar Jackson for the long term, but we need him to be more of a pocket passer because in order to succeed in this league, you can't always be running it. So we're going to give you an offensive lineman to give you some more time to stay in that pocket and throw the ball. So that's why they are selecting an offensive lineman here at 14th overall.
Mhm. Okay. I have the Baltimore Ravens drafting Jordan Davis, interior defensive lineman out of Georgia to really just fill up that like the inside of the defensive line because they have I don't know they need a defensive like tackle and to stop the run and because they got the linebackers who can also assist the outside, but they need someone up the middle. And I think it's a good pick for the Baltimore Ravens.
Hmm. All right. I guess it's your next two here now. This is good for
Next,
you. You got
we
an
have
Eagles
up.
and a Saints pick.
Next up, I and I have the next scene. I have the other Saints pick as well. Okay, that's great. Okay, next up we have our Philadelphia Eagles, who had three, but then traded one away to the Saints. I'm not sure about it because James is gonna do so good next year that it's gonna be like, wow, how
Just
bad.
select your person.
I
Hate
have
hearing
the
this Jameis
I have the
talk.
okay. Now this one, it's not gonna happen, and I know it for a fact. But it's who they should draft. Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah. They are not going to draft a
Mm.
linebacker ever. Not when I'm alive. Unless, well, not while Jeffrey Worry's alive at this point. And Devin Lloyd, great talent out of Utah, would be finally we would get a linebacker who's not horrible. I'm
Hmm.
praying.
Well, I think the last great linebacker we had was Jordan Hicks, who I think is underrated in the NFL, although his best years are behind him, I believe. But I really liked him when we had him. Although now we also got rushing linebacker Hassan Reddick. I think that was a great pickup here in the offseason. However, at 15th overall, I have my Philadelphia Eagles selecting Drake London from USC. I think they go with the wide receiver. They got to give Jalen Hurts the weapons. We got Devontae Smith. We got Dallas Goedert. We got the wide receiver tight end duo. Now we just got to throw in another wide receiver in there for Jalen Hurts to throw to, and then there can be no more excuses for Hurts. You got the offensive line. You got the targets. Now you can't screw up.
Okay. Next pick we have um the Saints at number 16. I have them drafting wide receiver Chris Olave out of Ohio State. I think they need someone to match up Michael Thomas and finally give Jameis Winston that weapon, and so he can go and be the MVP and come back by the year.
Yeah, I also think that the Saints are going to draft Chris Olave here, or
Is
Olave, whatever they.
that the first one you agreed on?
I think this is the first one we agree on. Is it?
Wow, I think so. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I do think it is. Wow, okay. So, yeah, I have them going with Chris Olave from Ohio State. I think he is one of the best wide receivers in this draft. Because if you saw that 40-yard time, ooh, man's a fast little guy. I shouldn't call him a little guy. He is 6'1", so he's got like 5 inches on me. Yeah, so wait, not
Because you're
5
short.
inches. I'm 5'8". I'm taller than Tom Cruise. Gosh.
And I'm taller than him.
They don't need to hear that. But yeah, we agreed. Chris Olave to the Saints. And now they also got Mike Thomas and that Harris guy. He can be a great number 3. He was a number 1 last year and was able to produce, putting him at 3. I think that's a great move for the Saints. Saints got weapons. Jameis has no more excuses. Jameis should win MVP, right, Matt? If he's as good as you say he is, he will.
Sure.
He said it. We got him.
I already
Ladies
said
and
it
gentlemen,
before you
we
like
got him.
questioned me. Okay, yeah, sure. It's you have to do the thing.
Yeah, alright. Let's go with these next two, which I shall be telling. Yeah, I'm going, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
you are going.
Los Angeles Chargers select with the 17th overall pick wide receiver Treylon Burks to LA. He's pairing up with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. You give Justin Herbert 3 wide receivers to work with. He has got 3 really good wide receivers. This man will have plenty of options. With this 3 wide receiver duo, I don't think they're going to go with someone on defense because they brought in J.C. Jackson. They don't need a cornerback anymore. J.C. Jackson, Derwin James, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. This team looks absolutely incredible. All they really need is a tight end to fit in there, but you can't complain when you got this good of a 3 wide receiver combo. I mean, what can you say? If only Austin Eckler can produce. Am I right?
No, you're
All
not.
right. Just tell us who you think they're gonna pick.
Okay. Austin Eckler is a good running back, but I'll stay out of that for now. I have them picking tackle to end to go the other side of Rashawn Slater, Bernhard Raymond out of Central Michigan.
Hmm?
I think this is big for them to get Justin Herbert another more time to find Keenan Allen and Mike Williams instead of another receiver.
I could very well see that happening. All right. My Philadelphia Eagles back on the clock. Who are they gonna pick? Who are they gonna pick? Oh, what's that? At number 18, they pick a linebacker, Nakobe Dean from Georgia. Yes, I have the Eagles picking a linebacker. They look at the corners and they say the best corners are off the board. Let's go linebacker. That's one of our big needs. So they get Nakobe Dean out of Georgia, and boom, the Eagles are done here in the first round of the draft.
Okay. I have the Eagles drafting George Karlaftis, edge out of Purdue. I mean, I don't think this is the right pick for them, but I think it's what they're gonna do because they're the Eagles during the draft. Besides last year, they don't really do that well, and so yeah, they have to get one of them wrong, and I think this will be the one. Though I don't think he's gonna be that horrible.
I'm
He's gonna be like,
surprised
okay,
that you gave us another defensive person and you didn't go offense.
mm,
You don't think the Eagles are going to be choosing a wide receiver?
nope.
Hmm. Okay.
I mean, I think they might trade up for one, but I think at where they are, it just doesn't make sense to draft one.
Got it. All right. Next to are yours.
Okay, so we're going back to the Saints here. If I hear the words quarterback out of your mouth, we're gonna have a problem here. Okay? We're gonna have a discussion. I know you already got rid of Malik Willis, but if I see Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, or Desmond Ridder, we're gonna have some words.
All right.
And so,
Do you want me to go
no,
first then?
no, I will go first. I have defensive line interior Devonta Wyatt out of Georgia, who kind of was overshadowed by Trevon Walker out of Georgia and Jordan Davis out of Georgia, two also defensive linemen from the same school. You can go.
Okay. All right. At the 19th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints select quarterback Ken. Nope. Psych. The Saints, they are going to stick with Jameis for this year. They're not going to
Woohoo!
have him die or die mentally, I should say. They're going to pick defensive lineman Jordan Davis out of Georgia, making it some more pressure in a quarterback's face. They got Cameron Jordan. Now they need a defensive lineman. They get Jordan Davis in there. They tag team to try to get to the QB first, just like what Aaron Donald and Von Miller were doing. They're going to be trying to do the same thing here for the Saints. So, yeah, I got them selecting Jordan Davis at 19.
Okay, at number 20, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I have taking quarterback Malik Willis out of Liberty.
Liberty,
Electrifying
Liberty,
performance.
Liberty.
the last year and really jumped onto people's radar. And I think they get their quarterback for the next couple of years. I'm not sure just yet, but I think he probably won't play. He won't start the season off. I don't know if he'll get in sometime during the season, but I'm not sure. But this is the pick for them.
All
But I
right.
think they'll trade up because I think someone else would trade up for him. But I didn't feel like doing trades, so this is what we got.
Hmm. I also have the Steelers selecting a quarterback, but I think you already said Kenny Pickett was going earlier in the draft, right, to the Panthers? Or wait, no,
Like
you said Panthers get an
you
offensive
said,
lineman. I said they got Malik Willis, but you said Kenny Pickett was earlier, I think, right?
no,
You didn't?
no, no.
Oh,
Kenny
so this
Pickett's
is
still on the
your
board.
first quarterback and you're choosing Malik Willis. I also
Yep.
think Malik Willis will be the first quarterback drafted. However, I have the Steelers selecting Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh. So yeah, they literally have Kenny Pickett basically already there. So Mike Tomlin was just walking over to the games, watching him. So I think they view Kenny Pickett as their quarterback. Uh, yeah, like for right now, I know a lot of Steelers fans are like, we need, uh, what's his name? The guy that they brought in from who used to be on the Chicago Bears and Bills. The
Mitch Trubisky.
bust. Yeah, Mitch Trubisky.
Buzz.
Yeah,
We'll
he
see.
was a bust, bro. They picked him over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. You can't tell me
But
that
it was
he's
also
a
like the
bust.
Bears.
Yeah, we're about to see whether or not it was just the Bears or if it actually was uh, his fault. So, yeah, I have them selecting Kenny Pickett. I know you Steelers fans are like, give us Trubisky for the year, but I honestly think that you're going to want Kenny Pickett by week 5 or so starting. And that's who I have them picking. So, yeah, I have them looking at Kenny Pickett as their franchise QB.
Okay. It's back to you.
Oh, yeah. All right. Uh, Bernhard Ryman, the offensive lineman, being selected at number 21 overall by the New New England Patriots, and yeah, they need someone to protect Mac Jones. I know they need some weapons, but they're looking at that offensive line and they're saying we already lost Shaq Mason. We need to bring in an offensive lineman to help Mac Jones. We can't just have him keep getting sacked. Now that the Bills brought in Von Miller, they need some help on that offensive line. So that's why I have them picking.
Okay, okay. So at 21, I've the New England Patriots going Kobe Dean, linebacker out of Georgia. Um, to pair up with Donta Hightower while he's still there. Well, he's got maybe a year or two left. Yeah, he's like 33, isn't he? Hold up. Donta he is 32. My apologies. He's got another year. Okay, and so I think they get a linebacker, and I think it's a good pick for them. Georgia's got a lot of people, a lot of defensive.
Yeah. All right, number 2 overall, the Green Bay Packers. I have them selecting wide receiver Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. I think they see how they have probably one of the worst receiving cores, so they're looking and they're like, we need to get some weapons in here for Aaron, or else he's going to complain about his next off season. So they bring in Jahan Dotson to help with that wide receiver core, help Aaron now that they no longer have Devontae Adams. So, yeah, that's why I have them picking at 22.
Okay, I have the Green Bay Packers going wide receiver as well, but I have them taking Traylon Burks out of Arkansas, who I think you already had off the board
Yeah,
at this
17
point at 17
to Chargers.
Chargers. But I have them taking Traylon Burks. Good for them, replacement for Devontae Adams, but of course he's not that good, not good enough.
Hmm.
But
All right, the
help
next
do
two
the
are
job.
yours.
Okay, Next at 23 for the Arizona Cardinals, I have them taking Tyler Winderbaum, center out of Iowa.
Is that all you're gonna talk about him?
I can't be. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know a ton about him. I just think this is good because they need a center. I don't know who their center is.
All right, I have the what am I saying? Carolina Panthers. I have the Arizona Cardinals selecting Jermaine Johnson, the second defensive lineman out of Florida State. I think they're looking at the defensive line and they're like, all right, we got J.J. Watt. However, we lost Chandler Jones, so they're looking at a guy to replace Chandler Jones, and I think Jermaine Johnson is the guy who they see that'll be able to do it. I know Chandler Jones was a rushing linebacker, and this guy's a defensive lineman, but there's still guys that are going to want to rush to the quarterback. So yeah, I got Jermaine Johnson at number 23 by the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, yeah, I'd say so. Okay, next we have the Dallas
Yeah, boo.
Cowboys because they're useless and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have them drafting offensive lineman. I think he's a guard, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Zion Johnson out of Boston College. You know, he's big, and I think he helps. When they lost, who was that guard they lost?
They lost, was it Tyron Smith or
Was it Connor
it was
McGovern?
Connor McGowan, and they also lost Lyle Collins. They still have Tyron Smith.
Well, I still have them taking. Yeah. Hold up. I thought they.
All right, so you think 24 Cowboys picking Zion Williams. I actually have them picking Tyler Lindenbaum, a center out of Iowa. I know you think that Tyler Lindenbaum's going to be going 23rd to the Cardinals. I think that he's going to be going to Dallas with the very next pick because they need a center. They haven't had a center since that one guy retired about a year or two ago, who those Dallas fans were like, this guy's the best center in the NFC East. Who's this Jason Kelsey guy? Ha ha ha, he has nothing on our guy. And then that guy retired, and then we're like, bruh, even if he didn't retire, Jason Kelsey is infinitely better than him. Jason Kelsey is infinitely better than any other center that has ever played the game, not only with his play on the field, but off the field. This man is a legend. No one likes us. No one likes us. And we don't care. He gave the most impressive speech at the Super Bowl 52 celebration on the steps of the Art Museum in Philadelphia, the very same steps in which Rocky Balboa ran up in Rocky 1, 2, and I think in the movie Rocky Balboa and Creed. I don't know. I just know it was in 1 and 2. He didn't do it in 3 or 4. Now we got another offensive lineman going to the Buffalo Bills. These next two are offensive linemen. Offensive lineman Zion Jones from Boston College going to the Buffalo Bills. They need some pass protection to help guard Josh Allen. I know some people are expecting them to take a running back, but I see they look at Josh Allen. They're like, who needs a running back when we got Josh Allen? So they pick Zion Johnson to help protect Josh Allen, give him a little bit more time there in the pocket. Now it's up to you, Matt.
Okay. I have them going offensive lineman as well. I have them going Kenyon Green, guard out of Texas A&M. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good from what I've seen, and I think he'll help booster that offensive line for Josh Allen.
All right. Now I have the Titans selecting the very offensive lineman Matt just said, Kenyon Green, offensive lineman from Texas A&M. I have him going to the Titans. They're looking to have a little bit more run block for Derrick Henry, although he doesn't need it because Derrick Henry can run men over with himself. Although, yeah, they also, I guess, want to give more time for Ryan Tannehill. But if AJ Brown is not going to be on the Titans anymore, I don't know who he is even going to be passing to. I guess Robert Woods. But yeah, I have Kenyon Green going to the Tennessee Titans. All right, next two are yours.
Okay, at number. Oh wait, no, I didn't even do my pick for the Titans.
Oh, you didn't do.
No, you just like cut me off like that. Okay, wow.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, go with your Titans guy.
I have the Titans taking tackle Tyler Smith out of Tulsa. I think they need offensive linemen. Derrick Henry just helps at the edge so Derrick Henry can knock over one guy instead of two. Okay. And then at number 27, we have the Buccaneers. I have them drafting defensive lineman Jermaine Johnson II, who I think is a steal for them this late in the draft. And I think he's going to be really good for them. And I don't know what I can say. He's a great pick for them. I just
I have the Buccaneers selecting edge rusher from Michigan, David Ojabu. I think that they're looking for more pass rush, even though they got Vita Vea and those good linebackers, Levante David. They just are like, hey, let's get an even better pass rush. So here they go, get David Ojabu, and yeah, not much more to say about it.
Okay. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers with their second pick in the first round. I have them drafting Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback out of Clemson. I think he's he's a solid cornerback. He's a bit of a drop off from Ahmed Garner, Derek Stingley, and Trent McDuffie, but he's still pretty good, and I think he will help line up beside Jair Alexander for that defense.
Hmm. I have the Green Bay Packers selecting George Karlaftis out of Purdue, edge rusher. I think they are also looking at their defense now that they gave Aaron Rodgers one more weapon, and they're trying to figure out how they can put some more pressure on the quarterback and let their corners do the work after that pressure is there. Talking about Jair Alexander, but yeah, George Karlaftis, he's an edge rusher. Like I said, out of Purdue, and I think he is a good pickup for the Green Bay Packers, and I think he creates some pressure for those quarterbacks.
Okay.
Now it's the back-to-back picks of the Kansas City Chiefs. I have the Kansas City Chiefs selecting wide receiver Christian Watson out of, what did that say? North Dakota State. I think they're looking at now that they no longer have Tyreek Hill, they're like, all right, we need a wide receiver. Also, they don't have Byron Pringle anymore, so they go with Christian Watson and yeah, get that wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes, so that he has a weapon. And well, he already had Tyreek Hill, or what was his name, Travis Kelce already. But yeah, Christian Watson, wide receiver out of North Dakota State.
Okay, I have another receiver, but I have Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. Absolute stud. Catches anything thrown at him. Too bad he didn't have a quarterback when he was at Penn State.
True. All right. 30th overall, the Kansas City Chiefs select Devontae Wyatt, defensive lineman out of Georgia. I see them looking at this as a steal because he was projected to be taken much higher. I think, Matt, did you say you have him being taken higher than this?
Wyatt? Wyatt, I do.
Wyatt.
I have him being taken by the Saints at 19.
Yep, I see him falling to 30th, 11 places down, and they look at this as an absolute steal. They get to apply more pressure on the quarterback. They got Chris Jones, and they also got I'm blanking on his name, Frank Clark, and they're like, we need to apply more pressure because Frank Clark kind of decreased in production since that Super Bowl year, so they want to apply that pressure on the quarterback once again, like they did in the Super Bowl year, and they get Devontae Wyatt.
Okay, I didn't realize this until now. I have them drafting another Penn State player, the safety Jaquan Brisker, who also actually starts with a J. But I think they lost Honey Badger and they got Marcus. I, um,
They
they
got
got
Justin Reed.
they got Justin Reed, but I still think they need another one, and they get Jaquan Brisker at number 30, which I think will be a good pick for them. They duo with the Penn State players.
Yeah, I was gonna have them pick a safety too, but then I know they got Justin Reed in the offseason, so I was like, all right, nah, I think they're just gonna try to go with an edge rusher instead. And they look at the board and see that Wyatt as a steal. But these next two are yours.
Okay, the final two with number 31, I have the Bengals drafting it. David Ojabo. I think you had him going to the Buccaneers.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's a good um edge rusher out of Michigan. He's 6'5", he's super tall, and he's 250 weight. And I think he got injured. He tore his Achilles. That's why he dropped this far. But I still think he'll be a great player for the Bengals to rush alongside. Um, what's his name?
Vita Vea.
No, it's the Bengals. What's
Oh,
his
my
name?
bad. I was thinking of the Buccaneers since that's what I
Oh,
have. Trey Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson. Yes, him. And I think they line up next to each other and they make the Bengals scarier on defense.
I think the Bengals are gonna have another Trey on their hands because from what I saw in last year's draft, they said, "Do we get Rashawn Slater for to help protect Joe Burrow?" No, give Joe Burrow as much weapons as he can, and when he has those weapons, he's able to produce. Joey Cool, Joe Burrow now gets another weapon in Trey McBridge, tight end out of Colorado States. Everyone's looking at this guy and saying he is the best tight end in this draft. If so, I have him going to the Bengals and having him being the tight end now that um, OJ Azuma is now with the Jets, so they're looking at him and they're like, all right, tight end for Joe Burrow. Now he's got the tight end, and he has those three wide receivers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and what was that other wide receiver, Matt?
Our boy.
Tyler Boyd. Yep. Now they're like, all right, we're going back to the Super Bowl, but now Joe Burrow has a little bit more protection, and he also got a tight end to throw to. So yeah.
Okay, I have the next and final pick in the first round is the Lions, who they got from the Rams from the Matthew Stafford trade. I have them getting Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pittsburgh, who I like as my favorite quarterback from this draft. Who drops down to 30? I think they'd probably trade up for him because I think another team would trade up for him, but I didn't feel like doing trades, so I have Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pittsburgh, going to Detroit and being sent to rot.
All right.
I mean, actually, there are a few. They're not that far off. If they get a good quarterback, I have them getting Aiden Hutchinson, will be a great defensive lineman. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift. They have Penei Sewell. If they and if well they drafted Jeff Okudua, if he ever actually played and ever did well, they a couple years down the line, if they keep these people and build on them, they can maybe, when Aaron Rodgers retires, push for the NFC North.
I have the Lions all selecting a quarterback. I know three quarterbacks in this draft going in the first round. Matt Corral out of Mississippi. A lot of people are expecting him to be the third quarterback taken in this draft, and I see the Lions selecting him. So I think obviously they're going to give Jared Goff another year, but they're also looking at a guy that can replace him, a younger guy who they think is going to be the answer at quarterback for many years to come. So, yeah, that's why I have as the last pick in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft. So I think that'll be the end of the episode. Matt, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Jameis is a
Don't say
goat.
anything about. Making me so angry. All I hear is Jameis this and Jameis that, even though I already told him about how Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Jameis Winston, yet he refuses to believe me. Yep, that's it. Oh my gosh, we ran at 56 minutes, although obviously I'm going to edit it and it's going to be less than that. But that is the end of the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on Saturday. See you later.